state government. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member, for keeping in time. After this, Shri Anil Desai ji.
Thank you, Chair Madam. Major Port Authorities Bill 2020 has been brought into play, replace the Major Port Trust Act 1963. The government claims that this legislation would be the biggest structural reform in the port sector, which aims to align the major ports with global standards. Chair Madam, I would go to the salient features of this bill, where the number of boards stand to reduce from earlier 17 to 19 to now 11 to 14. However, there will be 7 private members, it has been mentioned, and there won't be any proper representation to the employees. Secondly, the board is empowered to use the land, assets, property, and funds as deemed fit for the port. The board has been given full freedom to create a master plan independently, unbound by the state or the local government regulations. The board is also empowered to make rules and regulations for development, operations, and planning of the port smoothly. Board can raise loans from the banks without prior approval, except in cases where loan exceeds 50% of the capital reserves of the port. Chair Madam, going by the salient features of this bill, it is apprehended that the autonomy granted in the bill will make the major port a private entity, and corporates will play their way to the detriment of the overall health of the major ports, which are national assets. Today, major ports are regulated under the laws which ensure employment to the youth of India, whereby major ports address the unemployment issue. By privatizing the ports, the employment opportunities of OBCs, SC/STs, and even general employees will be grossly affected. This fear has already caused a discontent against the legislation among the employees of the ports. Further, power given to the board. I'll just conclude in only one point I'm making.
Yes.
Power given to the board to use the land, assets, property, and funds are deemed fit for the port may defeat the very purpose if not checked by evolving a scrutiny mechanism through government agency. And lastly, to create a master plan independently unbound by state and or local government regulation will certainly create issues, as the concerned major ports will become an independent planning authority in the city where the municipal corporation exists. In case of Mumbai and even my state, I'm saying. Because Mumbai Corporation of the city provides for all basic amenities like water, electricity, roads, and we should not forget that all lands were given to the ports by the state. And therefore, the obvious clash between these two authorities will create hurdle in the city's development, not only city's development. So the board should be adhering to the state and local government regulations. I would urge upon the Honourable Minister, through you, Chair Madam, to consider these suggestions. They are implemented in the bill.
Thank you, Desai ji. After this, we have Binoy Vishwam ji.